Hi folks, this is Sue Vachon. Sue, how long have you been a photographer?
Well, I've been taking photographs ever since I left college, on and off. Maybe 30 years ago, I had an SLR camera and I took a photography course. However, I didn't really get into it at that time. I was too busy working, I guess. Ever since I retired and bought my only digital SLR, I really focused on photography more. I just find having a digital SLR and having the photo right there after I take it, and I can analyze it and determine if it's good, I find that very helpful in my photography.
Oh, how would you describe your photographic process?
My photographic process is quite simple. My focus is really on taking the picture more than processing it at the end. I try to frame the shot before I take it. And then I take the photo. I'm using a digital SLR. I use a zoom lens, 18 to 200 millimeter, and I've taken all my photos with that lens. I find that's very adequate for what I need. Once I bring it down into the computer, I do minimal processing. I might crop it a little bit, and I might adjust the color. After that, I send it out for printing. At this time, I have no printer. I have not invested in a professional printer.
A lot of people put a tremendous amount of emphasis on the equipment they use. How do you compare equipment to creativity?
I think creativity is much more important than equipment for myself. Unless you really can compose a photo, no matter how good your equipment are, you won't get an exceptional photo. I really like the quote from Ansel Adams that says, I'm paraphrasing now, the most important component of a camera is 20 inches behind.
What's your favorite subject matter?
My favorite subject matter is, I think, taking structures and repeated patterns. As part of getting ready for this show, I did a survey of my photos, and I came up with 4 or 5 categories, and I think those are the 2 that I really like. I like to look for repeated patterns when I'm looking for shots to take.
It's interesting the way digital photography has changed the whole process. What do you think that the photography will be in the future?
Well, in the future, I see a camera that would be like an eyeglass, and you'd give it commands, verbal commands, and it would take your photo, and it would send it wirelessly to wherever you store your photos at that time. Who knows where that is? Yeah. And then I see another camera that you take pictures with, and then it's smart enough to determine, oh, she wants to take, or he wants to take this photo. Let me see if I can take a better photo.
Is there any place you haven't gone yet that you would look forward to going to?
I really want to go, and I've said this for a long time, to Antarctica. I love penguins, and I think icebergs, and the scenery there is very majestic. And I think it would really be pushing me as a photographer, because I do not consider myself a nature photographer.
How do you feel about being accepted at the Chocolate Church for the show?
Well, I was very honored to be accepted. As a matter of fact, I was quite surprised to be accepted, because I've only started showing pictures like a year ago at the Top Sim Library exhibit. And as a matter of fact, the photo we have behind us was actually accepted at that show and won the best seascape that year. So I'm very surprised that my photos are being welcomed.
Oh, they should. By the way, where did you take this and how?
I took this at Cook's Corner on Bailey's Island. I was having dinner one night with friends, and I just happened to have my camera with me, and I looked out the window, and I saw this reflection of the lobster shack, I guess, on the waters, and I took the picture with my zoom lens, of course.
Where do you think your photography is going to go? What kind of challenges are you looking for in the future in your photography?
I can see my photography going more into the macro side of things, since I have the new lens, so I really want to explore that. And I'd like to explore more black and white photography. And I really want to explore how to get a good print, black and white, without going into the darkroom. And I also have a sort of a project going on. I live on Orr's Island, close to the Bowdoin College Coastal Preserve. And I would like to document a year's cycle through that preserve of life.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. That would be very fascinating to do.